Let's face it, growing old is terrifying. You probably already feel it. The foggy memory, the forgotten names, the confusion when you walk into a room and can't remember why you're there. What if I told you that this isn't just old age? It's your brain actively deteriorating. And here's the kicker. It's not just normal aging. It's happening because you're lacking essential nutrients. Nutrients that are critical to keeping your brain sharp, focused, and alive. Miss even one of them, and your brain will start to betray you faster than you ever imagined. Most people over 65 are already suffering from nutrient deficiencies, and they don't even know it. That's why memory loss, brain fog, and cognitive decline are so common. But the good news is that it's not too late to fix it. Let me walk you through the 6 essential nutrients your brain needs right now, before it's too late. And trust me, you're probably already missing at least one of them. You've probably heard about omega-3s before. Maybe your doctor mentioned them, or you've seen them advertised on supplement bottles. But here's the shocking truth. Most people over 65 are dangerously deficient in omega-3 fatty acids, and it's literally causing their brains to shrink. Yes, shrink. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential for brain function because they form the building blocks of your brain's cell membranes. The 2 most important forms, EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, are critical for brain health. DHA makes up nearly 25% of the total fat in your brain. It's directly involved in the structure and function of neurons, the cells responsible for sending and receiving signals in your brain. If you're low on DHA and EPA, those signals get weaker, slower, and more prone to failure. Research has shown that low levels of omega-3s are strongly linked to cognitive decline, depression, and even Alzheimer's disease. One large-scale study found that older adults with the lowest levels of DHA had a 47% higher risk of developing dementia compared to those with sufficient levels. Another study discovered that low omega-3 levels are linked to a 20% decrease in brain volume, which means your brain is literally shrinking when you're not getting enough of these fats. But here's where it gets even more alarming. Your body can't produce omega-3s on its own. That means you have to get them from your diet or supplements, and most people simply aren't getting enough. Western diets are notoriously low in omega-3s and overly rich in omega-6 fatty acids from processed oils and junk food. This imbalance creates chronic inflammation in the brain, which accelerates cognitive decline and memory loss. The symptoms of omega-3 deficiency are easy to overlook at first. Mild memory lapses, trouble concentrating, brain fog, poor mood or depression. But over time, these symptoms progress into more serious issues like loss of verbal fluency, increased forgetfulness, and confusion, early warning signs of dementia. The fix. To protect your brain, you need to start increasing your intake of omega-3s immediately. The best sources are fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and anchovies. Aim to eat these fish at least 2 to 3 times per week. If you're not a fan of fish, a high-quality fish oil supplement with at least 1,000 milligallons of combined EPA and DHA per day is essential. Look for supplements that are third-party tested for purity and freshness. Low-quality fish oil can be oxidized and harmful. Also, cut back on inflammatory omega-6 oils, like soybean, corn, and sunflower oil. They compete with omega-3s and make it harder for your brain to absorb the nutrients it needs. If you've already noticed memory problems or mood changes, you may need to increase your intake even more, up to 2,000 milliliters of combined EPA and DHA per day, under the supervision of your doctor. Fail to correct this deficiency, and the consequences could be devastating. Faster brain shrinkage, increased risk of Alzheimer's, and years stolen from your life. But fix it, and you'll notice sharper thinking, better memory, and improved mood within just a few weeks. 2. Vitamin B12, the silent killer of cognitive function. Vitamin B12 deficiency is one of the most overlooked and dangerous causes of cognitive decline in older adults. What makes it so dangerous? It's subtle. You won't feel it right away, but over time, it will quietly and ruthlessly erode your memory, your thinking, and even your personality. It's called the silent epidemic for a reason. Most people have no idea they're deficient until the damage is already done. Vitamin B12, cobalamin, is essential for brain function because it plays a crucial role in the production of red blood cells and the maintenance of nerve cells. It helps form the protective sheath, myelin, around your neurons, the insulation that allows your brain cells to communicate quickly and efficiently. When you don't have enough B12, that protective sheath begins to break down, and your brain cells literally start to die off. B12 is also involved in the production of neurotransmitters, the chemicals that allow your brain to send messages. Without B12, neurotransmitter levels plummet, which leads to slow thinking, poor memory, depression, and confusion. Here's where it gets even more concerning. As you age, your ability to absorb B12 naturally declines. That's because B12 is absorbed in the stomach, but after the age of 50, your stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, the key ingredient needed to extract B12 from food. That means even if you're eating enough B12-rich foods, like meat, eggs, and dairy, your body still might not be absorbing it properly. Symptoms of B12 deficiency often mimic dementia or early Alzheimer's. Memory loss, confusion, trouble finding the right words, depression and mood swings, numbness or tingling in the hands and feet. One study found that up to 40% of people over the age of 60 are deficient in B12, but most are never diagnosed because doctors rarely test for it. Instead, they chalk up the symptoms to normal aging or even misdiagnose it as early-stage dementia. But here's the scariest part. Untreated B12 deficiency can lead to permanent neurological damage. That means even if you catch it later, some of the cognitive decline may not be reversible, and the longer you go without enough B12, the greater the damage. The fix. You can't afford to take chances with B12 deficiency. If you're over 60, you need to supplement. Period. The best form is methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin, because it's more bioavailable and easier for your body to absorb. A daily dose of 1,000–2,000 mcg of sublingual, under the tongue methylcobalamin is ideal because it bypasses the digestive system and gets absorbed directly into the bloodstream. If you have severe symptoms, like numbness, weakness, or significant memory loss, you may need intramuscular B12 injections to rapidly restore your levels. These are often given once a week for the first month, then once a month for maintenance. Also, focus on adding more B12-rich foods to your diet. Beef liver, highest source of B12. Clams and oysters, sardines, tuna, eggs, dairy products, if you can tolerate them. However, diet alone is often not enough for older adults. You need to supplement. If you've already noticed memory issues, confusion, or mood changes, you need to take action now. Left untreated, B12 deficiency can cause irreversible brain atrophy, meaning your brain could literally shrink, permanently reducing your cognitive capacity. The good news? B12 deficiency is one of the easiest to fix, but only if you catch it in time. Most people report feeling sharper, more energized, and mentally clearer within 2 to 3 weeks of correcting a B12 deficiency. This is one deficiency you cannot afford to ignore, because by the time you realize it's happening, it could already be too late. 3. Magnesium, the forgotten mineral that controls your brain's electricity. Magnesium is one of the most critical nutrients for brain health, yet most people over 65 are dangerously deficient. In fact, it's estimated that over 70% of older adults are not getting enough magnesium, and the consequences are devastating. Memory loss, brain fog, poor concentration, depression, anxiety, and even early dementia can all be traced back to magnesium deficiency. Here's the frightening part. Magnesium is essential for over 600 biochemical reactions in the body, including those that regulate brain function. Your brain relies on magnesium to transmit signals between neurons, regulate mood, and protect brain cells from damage caused by stress and inflammation. Without enough magnesium, your brain becomes sluggish, vulnerable, and prone to misfiring. Magnesium is particularly important for regulating the neurotransmitter glutamate, which is responsible for memory and learning. When magnesium levels are low, glutamate activity becomes excessive, which leads to overexcitation of neurons. Over time, this literally kills brain cells, leading to cognitive decline and memory loss. Here's how magnesium deficiency affects your brain. Brain fog. Feeling like your thoughts are slow and unclear. Memory problems. Trouble recalling names, dates, and facts. Poor concentration. Difficulty focusing on simple tasks. Anxiety and irritability. Magnesium regulates the stress hormone cortisol. Low levels lead to chronic stress and anxiety. Depression. Magnesium deficiency reduces serotonin and dopamine production, leading to low mood and hopelessness. Insomnia. Magnesium is essential for producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. Low levels lead to trouble falling and staying asleep. The science is clear. A major study published in Neuropharmacology found that magnesium plays a direct role in synaptic plasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. The researchers discovered that increasing magnesium levels significantly improved both learning and memory. Another study in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that low magnesium levels were linked to an increased risk of cognitive decline and brain atrophy in older adults. A separate study showed that people with higher magnesium intake had a 37% lower risk of developing dementia. Why? Because magnesium reduces brain inflammation, improves blood flow, and strengthens the connections between neurons. But here's the problem. As you age, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing magnesium from food. On top of that, certain medications, including diuretics, proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux, and some blood pressure drugs, deplete magnesium levels even further. If you've been taking any of these medications for years, you're likely severely deficient without even knowing it. The fix. To restore magnesium levels and protect your brain, you need to supplement, and you need to be smart about it. Not all magnesium supplements are created equal. Magnesium glycinate, the most bioavailable form, easily absorbed and gentle on the stomach, ideal for improving sleep, mood, and cognitive function. Magnesium threonate, the only form proven to cross the blood-brain barrier and increase magnesium levels directly in brain cells. This is the best option for reversing memory loss and cognitive decline. Magnesium citrate, effective for improving digestion and relieving constipation, but less beneficial for brain health. You should aim for 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium per day. Magnesium glycinate or threonate is best taken in the evening, as it also helps improve sleep quality. Avoid magnesium oxide. It's poorly absorbed and mostly acts as a laxative, not a brain booster. Food sources of magnesium. While supplements are necessary for most older adults, you should also try to increase magnesium-rich foods in your diet. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, almonds, cashews, and Brazil nuts, avocados, dark chocolate, 70% or higher. The problem? Most people would need to eat several cups of spinach or a handful of nuts every day just to meet the minimum magnesium requirement, which is why supplementation is so critical. Why you need to act now. Magnesium deficiency doesn't just affect your mood and memory. It's also linked to serious long-term brain damage. Chronic magnesium deficiency increases your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, stroke, depression. If you've been struggling with brain fog, poor sleep, or increased anxiety, you could already be in the early stages of magnesium depletion. And here's the worst part. Once your brain cells start dying off due to low magnesium levels, they don't grow back. But the good news is that magnesium levels can be restored quickly with the right supplementation. Most people notice improvements in sleep, mood, and mental clarity within 7 to 10 days of correcting a magnesium deficiency. Fail to act now, and the damage could become irreversible. But fix it today, and you could feel sharper, calmer, and more focused than you have in years. 4. Vitamin D, the brain hormone. You didn't know you needed vitamin D isn't just about strong bones. It's critical for brain health. Low vitamin D levels are directly linked to depression, mood swings, and memory loss. In fact, people with low vitamin D levels have up to a 53% higher risk of developing dementia. And guess what? Over 70% of people over 65 are vitamin D deficient. Why? Because as you age, your skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. The fix: start supplementing with at least 2,000 to 5,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily. Take it with food that contains fat. It helps with absorption. If you feel down, foggy, or constantly tired, this might be the missing piece. 5. Choline, the brain fuel that's disappearing from your diet. Choline is the precursor to acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter responsible for memory and learning. Without enough choline, your brain can't create new memories or store old ones. You'll feel like you're losing information even though you just learned it. The problem? Most modern diets are almost completely devoid of choline. The richest sources, egg yolks, liver, and certain meats, have been demonized for decades because of cholesterol fears. The fix: eat 2 to 3 whole eggs per day and consider a choline supplement, 250-500 milligallons per day. If you keep forgetting conversations, misplacing items, or struggling to recall familiar faces, you need choline now. 6. Zinc, the cognitive sharpener. You're probably ignoring zinc is the key to fast, clear thinking. It regulates neurotransmitters and supports brain cell communication. Low zinc levels are linked to slow thinking, poor memory, anxiety, depression. And here's the kicker. Most people over 65 are zinc deficient because aging reduces your body's ability to absorb it from food. The fix: start taking a zinc supplement, 10 to 20 milligallons daily, but not on an empty stomach. It can cause nausea. If you're finding it harder to concentrate or you feel mentally sluggish, zinc deficiency might be the hidden cause. Final warning: you're already running out of time. Here's the harsh truth. Your brain is already deteriorating. If you've noticed memory lapses, confusion, or difficulty concentrating, that means the damage has already started. But you can stop it. If you act now, These 6 nutrients are not optional. They're the foundation of a healthy, functioning brain. Miss even one, and you could be facing years of mental decline, confusion, and, eventually, complete cognitive failure.